Welcome back, boys and girls. We shall now move on to the writing process. So what is an essay? We have parts of it. So it is a short written composition that expresses the writer's thoughts about a given topic with an audience. So an essay consists of an introduction, body paragraphs, and a conclusion. So we're going to break this up and we're going to learn what is what. So an introduction. The functions of an introductory paragraph are to attract the reader's attention. So here you need to make sure that the person, when he reads the first sentence of your essay, it's going to be like, I want to know what goes on next. So this is sort of like making an introduction to somebody, a person, the first time you're meeting, and you want to make a good impression. So you want to catch that person's attention. And then what do you do next? You supply any background information. And then you present the thesis statement, which is a clear, direct statement of the main idea of the body paragraphs. I will tell you later what a thesis statement is. And also it indicates the plan of development. So your introductory paragraph more or less helps you organize your whole essay. Okay, so an introduction consists of the hook, the connecting information, and your thesis statement. Yes, that's Captain Hook. So, it is the opening statement to grab the reader's attention. And there are 4 ways to do a hook. You can ask a question, as in, how many people take medicine, even a simple aspirin, every day? Or you can ask, are you ever bothered by the excessive violence on primetime television? And have you ever stayed up all night to study for an exam only to sleep through your exam the next morning? So this is your opening statement in your introduction. You can ask a question. Or you can make an interesting observation. Asian economists are not sleeping well these days. Another example, loneliness leaves a person hollow from the inside out, and after being infected, the only cure is companionship. This is purely based on observation, or you can start with a famous quote, I have a dream, or you can use statistics. Now, statistics, if you're doing it as an assignment, so you have access to all the information, you can use this. But if you're doing it during the exams and you have got no access to any of this, this is not very advisable because you have to be precise with your numbers and figures. So it says over 20,000 people in the United States are killed in alcohol-related traffic accidents every year. So if you're going to quote this, somebody is going to ask you, where did you get this information from? Okay, or 70% of all jobs found today were obtained through different networking strategies. Again, you have the question of where did you get this information from? Where did you pluck these numbers from? So that's where you have to have referencing to show this is where it came from. So for exam purposes, statistics, unless you're very sure, please don't use it. If world temperature continues to rise, Singapore and New York may be underwater by the year 2050. This is also something that you need to justify. All right. So your introduction, you must have connecting information. After the hook, you usually have about 3 to 5 sentences to help the reader connect to the topic. So these sentences can be background information to the topic or examples. So your hook is, transportation today is different from the way it was 50 years ago. At that time, people who wanted to buy an automobile had a very small variety to choose from. Nowadays, there are so many choices that it could take months to look at all the cars on the market. Often, a buyer must first choose between a foreign car and a domestic car. To reach a decision, a buyer should compare foreign and domestic cars in terms of quality and dependability, maintenance, and style. So pay attention to that last sentence as well. We will get to that. So you need to have at least 3 to 5 sentences that help to connect the reader to the topic you are talking about. Cars or transportation that was available 50 years ago and what we have now. So the thesis statement. The thesis statement is usually the last part of the introduction or the last line in your introduction. It indicates a pattern of organization of the essay. It is one long sentence consisting of two parts, the topic and controlling ideas. Now please note the word organization and controlling ideas. Organization, boys and girls, very, very important when you do your essay writing. Okay, you must be able to have a good flow. So this is where your thesis statement comes in. So there are basically two types of thesis statements. One is a stated and direct. Now we notice the preferred is a bit bigger in the font size because it gives a specific outline of the essay. So if you notice earlier we said to reach a decision, a buyer should compare foreign and domestic cars in terms of quality and dependability, maintenance, and style. So you have got 3 points there. Quality and dependability is one, maintenance is one, and style. So why are we talking about this? All this goes back to your brainstorming. Because when you are doing your brainstorming, and let's say your topic is about buying a car, you are going to write all this down. So when you get your topic, your essay topic, it makes it so much easier for you to just pick out what you want to talk about. And this goes back to your organization and controlling ideas. It is a real time saver. So please, we are going to stick to a stated thesis statement as opposed to an implied or indirect one where it has no direct outline of essay. For example, to reach a decision, a buyer should compare foreign and domestic cars based on a few guidelines. If you do this, then you do not have your controlling ideas yet in your introduction. Alright, so please, we are going to stick to a stated thesis statement, and it will be good for you to remember this, and when you practice your writing, to always put down your points in your thesis statement. And why only 3? Because we only have a 5-paragraph essay. So each point goes into one body paragraph. So examples of thesis statement, stated thesis statement, which is preferred. So heavy flooding drives people from their homes, it destroys crops and interrupts business and activities. So you've got your 3 points stated there. This comes from your brainstorming. Good. High school athletes who go directly into professional football must consider the possibility of injury. That's 1 point. the length of their playing careers, second point, and the opportunity of making a lot of money. That is your third point. Another example, the Olympic Games brings positive effects to society, economy, and politics. Now there's a note down there that says please do not announce the thesis. For example, this paper will discuss what heavy flooding does to people. Or announce yourself saying, I am going to prove that. Or ask a question. So please, your thesis statement, do not do this. Just keep it third person and write it in this way so that it sounds like you're just going to discuss it. Okay? This is a no-no. Implied thesis statement. Owning a pet has several important benefits. It is undeniable to say that globalization has resulted in both positive and negative effects which must be addressed accordingly. And playing sports is really good for children for many reasons. So now if you do this, that means it shows that you have not really done much brainstorming, your clustering, your mind mapping, your free writing. So part 1 will have no relation to this if you use an implied thesis statement. I hope you all understand this. So we are going to use a stated thesis statement for our essays. Okay? Very sad face. Don't use that. Okay, so today's smoking is an issue which is on everybody's mind, and the whole country is divided on the issue. So your hook talks about smoking. The connecting information has got the whole country divided. And your thesis statement goes on to say, however, tobacco should be outlawed because smoking endangers everyone's health, that's one point, pollutes the environment, second point, and drains us of valuable energy. Now remember, boys and girls, we are still talking only about the introduction. Once you get your introduction correct and you've got your stated thesis statement down there with your points, the rest of the writing becomes a little bit easier. So notice that the introduction has 3 parts. First you introduce the topic, then in 1 or 2 sentences you lead into your position and reasons, which is the third, the thesis sentence. And also notice that the thesis is stated in 1 sentence, both position and reasons. So tobacco here, the writer says, should be outlawed. He disagrees with it totally. It shouldn't, smoking should be banned, okay, not legalized. Another one, the hook is here talking about a land plagued with obesity. Now the connecting information talks about weight loss is one of the answers to the problem. Not easy in the UK. It has been increasingly cited as a major health issue. It is seen as a rising concern in Malaysia as well. And then your thesis statement, there you go. It tells you about exercising, dieting, and being positive are 3 measures that can be taken to ensure weight loss. Now I hope you noticed in the examples the different ways that the thesis statement is written so that you have a variety of ways of writing instead of just these are the 3 ways that we can know. Try to be a little bit imaginative. And then you've got the third one. So this one talks about reading. Reading is to the mind what exercise is to the bodies. This is your quotation. Okay, it draws an analogy between the importance to tone the body and reading to stimulate the mind. So your thesis statement here says, encouraging children to read improves their vocabulary, expands their understanding, and increases their creativity. Please bear this in mind, boys and girls. it's for you also. Okay. Now we go to the body paragraphs. Just now was the introduction. Body paragraphs are usually three paragraphs between the introduction and the conclusion. The body paragraph all paragraphs consist of a topic sentence, which is the main idea of a paragraph, and usually the first sentence of the paragraph. It is broad enough to include all the ideas of the paragraph, but narrow enough to be limited to a single paragraph. Don't worry, we will practice this. Supporting sentences, as it says, it supports your main idea, and you have to use appropriate transitions. And then you have concluding sentences. So you must end the paragraph before you move to your second paragraph. So it helps indicate the end of the paragraph, and it ties up the thoughts and drives home the main idea. So you end one paragraph before you move on to the other one. So when you have a topic sentence, good topic sentences can improve an essay's readability and organization, and these are the criteria that they should meet. So your first sentence must link to your thesis, right? Topic sentences uses keywords or phrases from the thesis to indicate which part of the thesis will be discussed. So if you do a stated thesis statement, your 3 points are already there, A, B, and C. So your first paragraph will talk about A. This is what I mean by organization. All right, so if your thesis statement says A, B, and C, your first body paragraph should be A, not talk about C first. Is that clear? So then you introduce the subject of the paragraph. They tell the reader what concept will be discussed and provide an introduction to the paragraph. And of course, you need to link it to the previous paragraph. They link the subject of the present paragraph to that of the previous paragraph. So once you're done with paragraph 1 and you've gone to the second one, you link the second paragraph to the first one. You're not writing your essay in isolation. It is one big piece that all comes together. Okay? And you must indicate the progression of the essay. Topic sentences may also signal to the reader where the essay has been and where it is headed through signposting words such as first, second, finally. Transition words are very important. So your topic sentence, so your essay topic is student success. Your thesis statement, a student should use the following to achieve success in college: tutorial service, library, consultation. So examples, one important resource that all college students should utilize for success is tutorial service. So the first paragraph talks about your first point. The second paragraph, another important resource, talks about library. So you're being consistent with your thesis statement. And the final one is consultations. Students should consult with their advisor on a regular basis to monitor success. Please bear this in mind and do it when you are doing your writing. It makes things a lot easier. Okay? Concluding sentences. We are talking about the last sentence in your body paragraphs. You must end it. You must end your first paragraph before you move on to your second paragraph. And you can do it either by doing it in a prediction, recommendation, or restatement of main points. So what does that mean? So the analogy of a hamburger is used to show what your whole essay is about. Your top bun is your topic sentence. All the meat and the lettuce and the tomatoes and the pickles and cheese and everything else is your supporting details. And the bottom bun is the bun that holds it all together, which is a concluding sentence. Okay, so the next time you order a burger from McDonald's. Think about it as an essay, all right? Okay, so you've got your topic sentence. Okay, so the first point has the value of sheer relaxation. Then you're talking about supporting detail 1. It's refreshing. Supporting detail 2. Watching television also reduces stress. And your concluding sentence says, indeed, television has benefited humans in the area of relaxation. So you've ended one paragraph. Okay. Now we talk about the last paragraph in your essay, the conclusion, the concluding paragraph. The conclusion is the final paragraph of the essay. There are some guidelines. Use transition signals in conclusion to summarize. That means you're showing that you are finishing it. All right. Now this is very, very important. Do not add any new ideas or information in your last paragraph. Your last paragraph also has got a topic sentence, supporting sentences, and a concluding sentence. Don't forget that constitutes a paragraph. All right. Now your purpose for doing a conclusion is to restate the thesis statement, summarizing your main points, and making a final comment. And you can do it by making a prediction, you suggest a solution or make a recommendation, or you suggest results or consequences, or you quote an authority on the topic. I'll show you how. So to summarize, stress is a health issue for those of us who live in modern industrialized societies. By restating your thesis statement, you say, unless we want to move to a quiet village in the middle of nowhere, we need to follow the advice of health professionals by setting realistic goals, taking up a hobby, getting regular exercise, and above all, staying close to our family and friends. So you are restating your thesis statement. So and then your final, the last sentence, you make a quotation by saying, we all generate it, but if you do not dispose of it properly, it will pile up and overtake your life. Now quotations, again, if you don't know who the person is or you're not sure, please do not misquote. Only do it if you're very, very sure. This is for exam purposes again. So you've got prediction, consequence, solution, result, and quote. That is your PCSRN. Okay, so prediction. It is clear that the US system of higher education is in trouble. For many students, going to college is no longer possible because of increasing costs and decreasing financial aid. All right, with that, you make a prediction. If this continues, what will happen? Obviously, fewer and fewer families will be unable to afford to send their children through the 4 years of college. So you're making a prediction, forecasting what is going to happen. What about result or consequence? Same scenario. Due to this, the nation will waste the intelligence, imagination, and energy of a large segment of the present college-age generation. That is what will happen if they keep doing this. So you can use a analogy to consequences. Or you can provide a solution or make a recommendation. To reverse this trend, we must demand that government increases its financial support of colleges and universities and restore financial aid programs. Our future depends on it. Make a logical solution. Remember, people, logical. Okay? Or you quote an authority, as Horace Mann, that is based on that, argued in his 5th annual report, a nation's economic wealth will increase through an educated public. It is therefore in the self-interest of business to pay the taxation for public education. This again, if you have access to all these quotations and you know exactly where to get it from and who said it and the wordings, then please go ahead and use it. All right? And so we've come to the end of it. Now, you don't start out writing good stuff. You start out by writing a whole lot of nonsense first, and then eventually it goes on to a well organized, proper essay. So we will do all this during our tutorials. You will be guided. Please do not worry. All right? All the best, and I'll see you during your tutorials. Thank you.